My name's Virginia. I'm going to get started this evening, and I'm going to introduce her actually. So here's Pastor John. He's actually a patient here, and he's going to come out and tell his story.
Hi guys. I don't want to get you too worried, because I know when somebody introduces a pastor, you always think, oh my goodness, what's he going to talk about and how long, right? So I'm going to leave all the preaching to Dr. Brouse, all right? He'll come up in a minute and do all that. I just want to share a little bit about my story, okay? I was a skeptic, for a long time about this kind of care. Matter of fact, up until about 4 months ago, back in the middle of August, I had an acute problem with my back, and I had spent years. I always described myself as a orthopedic nightmare. I'd had several surgeries on my knee and shoulder surgery. I'd had back surgery for herniated disc, and I had these terrible headaches that were reoccurring every few weeks. And being the pastor of a church in Altoona, actually, John and Casey, Mr. and Miss Brouse, Dr. Brouse and his wife, they attend our church. And so I had known John for a little while, Dr. Brouse, and that particular Sunday, I was just a mess. I literally had to call and get one of the associates at church to fill in for me, because I couldn't stand up. I was just in horrific pain. My wife was at service that day, and I guess they made the announcement that I wasn't feeling well and I was down in my back, and everybody had heard that 100 times over the period of 20 years since I've been here. And after that service, Dr. Brouse came up to my wife and said, "This just isn't acceptable. We got to help this guy." And meanwhile, I'm laying at home on my recliner, just in horrific pain, terrible. And Dr. Brouse texted me that afternoon. He got my cell number from my wife, and he texted me, and it basically was just one sentence, said, "I'd love to help you." Okay. Now, I was a skeptic. Okay. I honestly, I just didn't. I wasn't excited at all about chiropractic care. My wife had gone to a chiropractor for a number of years, and I was the guy that complained about the few bucks that she had to pay for that, because I thought it was just throwing money away, really. And so I wasn't too optimistic, but I was in such shape. And to be honest with you, Dr. Brouse hadn't been attending First Church very long, and I didn't want to have a bad impression on him. So I texted him back, and I said, I'd love to let you try to help me. Well, he texted me back, said, "I'm coming over." Okay, so he came over to my house that afternoon and just, briefly talked to me for a few minutes. And then I came up here that next day, and he evaluated me. And that night, I sat right where you're sitting right now, and I was still a skeptic. Okay, but I just want you to know that was in August. That was like August the 23rd. So here we are, November 15th today, and I'm not a skeptic anymore. Okay, he really has helped me. I'm almost scared to say things like this, but I went from having cluster headaches about every 3 weeks that just knocked me down for a couple of days to I've not had one since I met him. Okay, I want to move next door to him, because I think there's something about being close that makes that better. I don't know, but I'm still here to tell you, I'm not sure that all of that can be attributed to him, but I'm telling you, I've not had a cluster headache since the first day I laid down on his table. Okay, my back was so bad. I love to play golf, so I kind of I would measure how good my back was to my ability to play golf, and I would play golf every few months or something, and then would be literally just down for days or a couple of weeks trying to recover from that. And I've played golf 4 or 5 times since I've started seeing Dr. Brouse, and it's unbelievable. I would have never been able to play golf like days in a row, 2 days in a row, and I can do that now. And so I attribute a lot of that to him. So I just wanted to, and I actually asked him if I could do this tonight, because somebody did this the first time I was here, and it was a young man, and he gave this wonderful testimony. And I just want you to know that after what is that, September, October, November, 3 months, I am just so much better. And I actually, my wife, she fired her other chiropractor, and she's up here now too. So that's what it's done for our family. Now I know John, he's not going to tell you to do miracles, but I did hear about a lady that came to see him, And she said she wanted to bring her husband in because her husband thought he was a satellite dish. And John said, I think I can cure him. And she said, oh, I don't want him cured. I just want you to adjust him so I can get HBO for free. Okay, so that's this guy. That's how good he is. And if you listen to him tonight, and listen, if you're sitting there and you're like me, you're a skeptic, you know, give it a try. And, you know, I just believe with all my heart that a few months down the road, you may have a similar story to what I'm sharing with you tonight, okay? God bless you. Hey, here's a good guy, good friend, Dr. Brouse.
Well, thank you.
God bless you. Thanks, buddy.